Hello, my sweet dear magical friends. Welcome, willkommen to your weekly horoscope and tarot reading with me, Natalee, spelled N-A-T-A-L-E-E. If someone has sent you this video, they believe there's something valuable for you to gain through one or a few of the messages contained herein. If this is your first time viewing an astrology video, a horoscope is a forecast for future events, just like the weather forecast. Except a horoscope's delineation is based on the planet's position and relationships in the week ahead. This weekly horoscope is a unique blend of Western tropical astrology interpretation and what I see when I remotely view into the astrology. If this is your first time viewing a tarot reading, this is how it works. The more that you watch me, you establish a telepathic connection with me, the more likely I am to channel details of your messages or your full-fledged messages. Sometimes these readings feel like they're just for one specific person. So if some of the confirmations come through, those are for you, and these other ones are Scooby Snacks. They're for someone else that's connecting with me as well. You just observe your own body, thoughts, and emotions for any reactions, subtle or strong. This means you are resonating with this message and can benefit from its guidance. If you'd like to know when I upload or live stream new messages here on the YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe, toggle the notification bell. You can also follow me on social media. I am on TikTok, same handle, WatchNatalee. Please block and report any other accounts. Lastly, always remember that time spirals. All of my messages are timeless, and you can learn more about me, my psychic work, how to book your session with me, and do your own forecasting for anyone that likes to remote view or sort of play with themselves in a new fun way, also down below in the description box, and that there are timestamps for easy navigation. Without further ado, let's open up your week ahead. Welcome, willkommen to our aspectarian over in this panel over here, over the door. My loves, I am calling this week building out the new way. And when I say way, I mean like a path. I did get some weird stuff in your pre-meditation. I got basically some road, just some long road. And I did get something, I'm not sure if this is like that Metallica song or if it's some other song reference, but I got like Queen of the Road or Queen, I don't know, something with that. But I just saw this, it just looks like a regular road, but I'm guessing it's your message, so it's significant for you in some way, shape, or form. So building the new way, it feels like it's that path, this road, so to speak. So that's what I got for you, for any one person that may resonate with. And basically this week is you building out this new way for yourself, whether that's a way of living life, like an art of living type of way, or whether it's an actual path, and you may actually be building out a new place you're taking your life, okay? And what I will say at the very top of this horoscope, taroscope, is to focus on that. Focus on the building of the new way, building out the new path. If you're making a road, you have to, there's stuff that has to happen. It's kind of traumatic, it sounds like, what would go into such a thing. But yeah, it's a lot of change, and you're coming off of this Leo new moon. We're going to talk about the triple conjunction just a little bit more in a second. So, you know, I'm saying to focus on how your life is clearly trying to level up. Now, it doesn't look like that in the moment. A lot of times it looks like the worst moment of our lives. It looks like a catastrophe. It looks like a disaster. It looks like a crisis. However, we don't know enough to know that it's the best thing ever. We don't know in that moment that it's exactly what we need. It's exactly what we're looking for. We just know in that moment we're not getting what we want. Things are not happening the way we want them to happen. So all of those myriad variables that could be changing in your life, the people, the characters, the players, the stage, the what, the when, the how, this and that, like all of that, let all that go. Let all of that go. Things are changing, and they're changing to your benefit. So you have to trust that. You have to believe in that. Let's go ahead and get started with Monday, August the 1st. Welcome, willkommen to August. Wow, it's already August of 2022. How are you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling this August? Okay, I'm calling this day your personal revolution. We've talked extensively about this. My patrons have heard me talking about this since, I don't know, like June or something at least. So this is the day that it happens. This is the triple conjunction. It's like July the 31st into August 1st, depending on where you are on the planet of Earth. And your personal revolution is happening in that Taurus area of life. So here's the thing. We're going to talk about it external and internal. So, you know, in some cases, there's going to be like some big headline in your life where it's hard to miss it because it's that obvious. Like things are, you know, your landlord sells your building, you gotta move, or, you know, it could be something that kind of happening externally. You meet someone, they just knock your socks off. You know, something very clear because it's externalized. This can also be happening on an internal level. This is a seed moment. So it could be loud and bright and very in your face, and, you know, it could have all the bells and whistles, but it could also be clear and quiet. It could be a very personal, private realization. You could have some incredible insight into yourself by discovering how you feel about something, about the situation, about a person, about your own life. Start there. Start right there. Start, how do you feel about your life? How do you feel about your life? And then, you know, build on that, because this moment, whether it's looking visibly changing or not, whether things are, you know, you're getting the fated call that changes your life, or you're picking up the phone and you are dialing this number that you've had for 35 years and you are making this fated phone call, you know, whatever it happens to be, just know how you're feeling about your life. Write it down somewhere. Just time capsule it, because there's something just very, very significant about this time. It's going to be reactivated, boom, 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 like over and over, over. So you're gonna come back to this. So just, you know, oh, this is me. Say hi. That's me. So, I'm wearing my own merch. I love that, right? So Monday, your personal revolution, the triple conjunction, it's a seed moment. So whether it's super loud and bright and in your face, or whether it's all happening under the surface, because it could be that too, that you are feeling things that you're just like, oh my God, what is going on? What am I feeling? Why am I feeling this? And, you know, it could trigger off a lot of other kinds of questions and other concerns, and it could just, but just know where you're standing with yourself and your feelings and your thoughts on Monday. Now the moon will be in Libra, so that's helpful. Here's another thing. Take a snapshot on Monday of the relationships and the connections in your life that are already awesome, that are already there. Take a snapshot, and it's like, okay, so the relationships that are already awesome, there's those. And then also note the people that are on the periphery, that you're not, maybe they're an acquaintance, maybe they are, you know, like a friend of a friend, or maybe you might grant them more access to some part of your life. You may not. Or they're just, maybe you just made a new friend, you're just starting to get to know this person. You know, take a look at those people as well, and see, and do like a tally, like take the snapshot of all of the logs of experiences with those people. Take a snapshot of all of that. So even down to the minutia, even down to the very smallest of moments where you remember that, oh wow, they really made me feel really good that one time when they complimented the heading that I put on a letter for the company, or whatever. You know, even if it's such a small little thing, keep a note for that, because it's going to be important, and I want you to remember how everyone is making you feel, because the moon in Libra, it could make you want to overcompensate. It could make you over rationalize. You're going to want to feel very balanced, and you're going to want to be very objective. You're going to want to have this bigger, you're going to want to feel good about where you stand in your relationships. And I just want you to be realistic and to be grounded in the reality of what's really there, what's really going on. So that moon in Libra could be helpful for relationships that you want to work on, but it could also make you where you give too much away. You give all of your power away. You betray yourself. You betray the boundaries you have with yourself. You abandon your own self to serve the needs of someone else, and we want to stay clear of that. Okay? Okay, so Moon enters Libra, Mars-Uranus, North Node conjunction in Taurus. It's a seed moment. Take that snapshot. Know how you feel about the whole thing. So even if you are feeling like you want to go work on something with someone, write it down. That's how you're feeling. And that's honest, you know, write down. I know this is bad for me, but I feel like I want to work it out. You know, whatever it happens to be, just be honest with yourself. That's all. That's all we want here is truth, love, integrity. We got to start there. Start with that truth and being honest with yourself. Monday, August the 1st. Okay, because it's the seed, and it's hot and heavy. The week starts hot and heavy, so just know how you feel. Tuesday, August the 2nd. Okay, so on Tuesday, August the 2nd, we have Venus in Cancer sextiling Mars, Uranus, North Node in Taurus. I talked about this in depth I made a whole video about it, the triple conjunction in Taurus, and I talked about it for all 12 zodiac signs over on Patreon, Nights and Above. Libra moon opposes Jupiter retrograde in the sign of Aries. So Jupiter stationing, any planet stationing is a big deal, and Jupiter literally like just stationed very, very recently. So it's still like a very critical time. So Tuesday, I am calling take the opportunity. Venus connecting with the triple conjunction is the best that you're going to get, because the triple conjunction is happening in the sign of Taurus. So now we have a dispositor that Taurus is ruled by Venus. So then we look to see what Venus is doing. Just giving you a little bit of astrology here. So what's Venus doing? But Venus is making a supportive sextile to this wild, wild energy. It's wild. This is wild, but there's this, you know, blessing. You are blessed with Venus in Cancer. So on the day that this is going exact, there could be an opportunity that actually could be Monday, Tuesday, but there could be an opportunity that manifests that's been growing since the Leo new moon. And I'm going to say take the opportunity and don't judge it. Don't judge the opportunity, because it's Uranus. Uranus is going to bring the challenge of innovation and the challenge of evolution. So if you're the first person in human civilization, like in the past, to think, wow, look at the sky. I want to go up there. I want to be in the sky, and I want to be in this hot dog thing that with little windows on it, and I want to make a plane, and I want to try to put it up in the sky. If you're that person, if you're the first person to get that idea, okay, I cannot go off on the aviation industry and but okay. If you're the first person that gets that idea, everyone around you is going to look at you like you are crazy for thinking of such a thing. And you're not, clearly you're not. So that's why I'm saying, like, this week you're building out this new way for yourself, this new path. There's a lot of hard changes, hard, fast changes. Trust that. It's okay. It's okay to grow. It's okay to get into new stuff. It's exhilarating. It's exciting. Go with it. Trust yourself. Trust yourself that you're ready for this, that you're ready. It's happening. I must be ready. It's happening. Here we go. You know, so don't judge it. Like I said, Uranus is going to challenge you to redefine certain things. Increase your standard. I had an amazing experience. Okay. Oh, I forgot to say that. There's so much happening. There's the 𝚠𝚒𝚘 follow-up. There's the Syrian, the heliacal rising of Sirius. Like, there's so much freaking talking about. Okay, so between the 𝚠𝚒𝚘, which was, oh gosh, that was like mid-July, from that Cancer 𝚠𝚒𝚘 until that Leo new moon, there was some potentiality that was still, like, we didn't know where it was going to go. It's like, ooh, what's this? What's going? Boom, though. But that new moon, especially this first week of August, you're seeing the results. It's like, okay, this is backed up with the proof, with the evidentiary support. So all that's to say, so I recently had a moment like this where I was challenged to raise the bar, to raise the standard of something. And guys, it was exhilarating. I had so much fun with it. And it came in a very organic, natural way. So I was already open-minded, so I started taking in some new energy. And then this thing came through that avenue, and my mind was blown. I thought that this certain thing was as good as it was going to get. Great, right? Okay, it was a movie. I know, I'm so boring talking about movies all the time, but it's so exciting to me. Okay, so it was a movie. It's a movie that a great movie, you know? And then someone, through this other way, introduced this new idea. It would have been the Iranian element of, yeah, it's all right. You know, the ending could have been better. And they said like a couple of things, and it just triggered so much more. I started asking new questions. And once I started asking new questions, the answer was there. And then it was so obvious to me that this film could have been so much better. But I would have never thought about it. I would have never thought about it. It's a great film, right? But if it were not for this other element that challenged me to just ask the question. Just ask the question. You'll get an answer. Something will come in. Something will happen. You'll ask the question in your head, and your neuronal pathways, all of the firings, this is like a really big shirt, even though it's like the smallest one. So, long story short, it was exciting for me. It was exhilarating. It was fun for me to experience, even though, you know, it was a challenge. Now you have to kind of like that stuff, though. I mean, growing up, like, I love that kind of thing, like just mental stimulation, figuring out puzzles and stuff like that. So, you know, if you already like that kind of thing, if you already like to get your brain tickled and that kind of thing, this week you're gonna have a ball. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the change. You're gonna see all the new things coming in. You're just gonna grab it and you're gonna go with it. You're gonna grab it and you're gonna go with it. You're gonna grab it and you're gonna go with it. And you're not gonna judge it. You're not gonna stop to judge it. You're not gonna stop to worry about it. You're not gonna stop to, you know, it's not what I did. They were talking about this movie, and I didn't stop and just start defending the movie. I didn't stop to, you know, there was no interruption. It was just like flow. And then it just opened up, and I was like, oh my God, you're right. They're right. They're right about that, to question it, to ask for more. They were right to have a higher standard. That's exciting. Raising the standards, I'm a Capricorn, so that's exciting to me. Very, very exciting. So, where was I? What are we talking about? I think we're talking about Tuesday still. Yes, we're talking about the Venus in Cancer, so Tuesday. So basically, you guys, don't judge it. Take the opportunity. Just say yes and see what happens. Just see what happens. Just say yes, see what happens. It could come out even better. It could come out even greater, but it will have that element of the unexpected. It will have that element of life unlived. This movie was out for like ever, and I never thought about it and like of it being any better until like between that Cazimi and the new moon. And then it just, honestly, it unlocked so much more for me in my brain, and it feels so good because now I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at every movie differently. I'm looking at everything differently. Looking at everything now, I know to expect so much more, even more and more, because I was already like that. I was already like I'm not like a snob, like a movie snob. I'm not like that. I already have a different turn of mind. Let me just put it that way. So this just took it. I love that. I love that I had somewhere else to go. It was very refreshing. It was very appreciated. And I'm just going off on this so that you guys can have fun with what you don't understand. Because until you learn it, until it makes sense, I want you to enjoy that. I want you to enjoy tension. Okay? Cardinal signs, I'm Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising. It's a certain kind of tension that always needs to start something new. The fixed signs, that tension is we're going to keep this going no matter what. And that's why you guys are, that's why people are tweaking out, is because you already made a pathway, you already made a road, you already made a commitment, you already set something up in your life a certain way. And so, you know, it's like rebuilding your building, even though you laid the concrete and you hired all the people and it's already been there for 10 years, and it's like, oh my God, I got to redo it now. Yes, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. I want you to have fun with it, because it is fun and it is exciting. And if the universe is helping you do this, this is the time that you're going to get the best out of it, as opposed to being in a cycle or a transit in your life that everything is so stuck and you want change and you want something different and you want to break out. You don't even freaking care what it is. You just want something, some opportunity to make something different happen for your life. And there is no indication of that. And you're in a rut. Maybe you're meant to be in that rut for that moment in time. It's better than that moment, right? It's way better than wishing you can get out of something and wishing you could break out and not being able to, and being that kind of oppressed and being that kind of restricted. That's terrible. That's suffocating. So take the opportunity, don't judge it. Oh, also, the moon in Libra is opposing Jupiter retrograding in Aries, so a second look may be involved with something from the past. So there could actually be some, so there could actually be some kind of thing that you're returning to. Could be a concept, this could be a belief system, an ideology, but it can also just touch on your second chance, either to be a mentor, to have a mentor, to expand your horizon in some way, shape, or form. Whatever person or experience or situation is going to give that to you is going to be what you can expect from this Jupiter retrograde in Aries. So focus on the beneficial gets only. What are you receiving? What are you getting out of this? What's the other person getting out of this? What's everyone should be benefiting in an equal way with this opportunity or with something that's opening up, because Venus is softening this change. So whatever this change is, there's some part of it that feels good. There's some part of it that feels natural. Okay, it doesn't just feel good like you're happy. This feels intrinsically good. It feels organic. It feels natural. You know this is where the flow is going. Wednesday, August the 3rd, we have the moon in Libra squaring Venus in Cancer, and then that moon in Libra is also trining Saturn retrograding in Aquarius. I'm calling this day Trust the Process. Hear me out. So that Libra moon, so good for the relationships in your life that are already amazing, that are already awesome, and it's good for getting everyone on board, and it's good for meeting new people. It's good. It's good for relationships. I just always have to give you that, you know, like the indications of like, don't use it for toxic stuff kind of a thing. So, but that moon in Libra on Wednesday, squaring Venus in Cancer, honestly, something's feeling really good. I mean, it could be a lot of good feeling. Okay, this could be like really, 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 really good. Could be feeling really great. Could be feeling really great. So just be careful of overdoing it. Not too many truffles or bonbons, champagne, caviar, naughty women, that kind of thing. You know, just okay. But also, we have that moon in Libra trining Saturn retrograding in Aquarius. What else feels good? Trust. Trust feels good. Trust feels amazing. When you really trust, you let go. That's the real letting go. It's this release. It's this, I can relax because it's taken care of. I paid the bills. I moved the car. I did the thing. I submitted the forms. I turned in the paperwork. I printed my own copies. All of that. When you do it though, at the end of the day, what do you get? You get trust in yourself. This is some masculine energy here, okay? This is masculine. Okay, Libra is the masculine expression of Venus. And then we have Saturn in the masculine expression of itself, which is Aquarius. Saturn in Capricorn is the feminine expression of Saturn, but now Saturn's in Aquarius, so it's and then you have the meeting, but the moon's trying to be a little bit more emotional. The moon's trying to feel something, trying to feel positive. The only way that's going to happen is when you imagine what you can do and do the things that you can already do that are responsible, that will encourage and endear trust with yourself. When you trust yourself, you will trust life. Trust the process. There's something firming up. What's this? We're Wednesday, August the 3rd. It's firming up. It feels really, really good. Trust the process. Let yourself feel good. Let your masculine archetype take care of the outer worldly things like I described, so that your feminine archetype can relax and just have the bonbons on the couch and eat the grapes with your girlfriend or your boyfriend and just relax. But aim for that balance. And that moon in Libra should help a little bit. That square with Venus might make you want to just blow off the responsibilities, but don't do that. Don't do that. I'm ruled by Sat. I'm a very Saturnian person, so I just always do the work first. And if it's playtime doesn't happen, then playtime doesn't happen. If the work doesn't get done first, sorry. It's how I live my life, and you know what? It feels amazing. It feels great. It feels amazing. I don't know how else to explain it. But when you're ruled by Saturn and you have Saturnian, and guys, we're in like back-to-back Saturn years. Like we just went through 2020 with Saturn, the Cap Stell. We had Saturn in Capricorn, then another couple years of Saturn in Aquarius. So this little wheel of your life, ooh, you know, so this is where you're going to get the most rewards. You're going to get the most feeling good because it's taken care of, because you did it. You did the hard thing, and now you can just relax. Okay? Saturn always feels like a bully. I don't know why I'm talking about this so much. This might be for one person, because this is just a little moon Saturn. It's not even going to last long. These are transits, very short transits with the moon. But with Saturn, it always makes you feel like a victim. You always feel like you're being picked on. You feel like you're being singled out. You feel like a victim. You feel like and you might even be actually victimized, but that's not what makes you a victim. You can have a person that's never been victimized in their entire life. That's a victim. And they're a victim consciousness, and they're talking and they're behaving and they're acting from that victim consciousness, and they're a victim even if they've never been victimized in their entire life. But they could still be the victim. Whereas you have someone that's been brutalized and totally victimized their entire life, that does not make them the victim. That's not what makes someone a victim, if you've been victimized or not. Saturn will always put these hard obstacles in your way, the time that you have to do, the due diligence you have to do, the responsibilities that you have to take on and fulfill, all of those things, and time. It's something that takes time too. But it does that to toughen you up, and it's all of us. So that when you overcome it, when you hand in all the paperwork, when you do all the things, when you complete the assignment, guys, I'm addicted to that feeling. I'm addicted to that feeling of accomplishment. When I did a good job and I did the very best and I raised the bar, raised the stakes, heaven help me, it feels amazing. And I want you guys to feel amazing too. So that's the real prize out of Saturn energy, is that feeling of accomplishment, that you did a hard thing, that it's like climbing Everest. It's starting at the bottom and looking up and thinking, I can't do this. I don't believe I can do this, but I'm going to try, and I'm going to put my foot down and start the first step, and we'll just see what happens. You know, and then you build more and more self-confidence, and maybe you get a little stronger, and maybe you learn how to breathe, the elevation differences, right? So, and then you get to the top and you're like, holy shit, I did it. I really did it. And you learn something about yourself that you can do, but you would have never known that about yourself. I would have never known that movie could have been so much better. Guys, I know it's super dorky that I get so excited about this, but you know me already. So it gave me so much to think about. And I like that. I like chewing on a lot. And I have to, like, mentally, like, I'm just, my moon, Mercury in Aquarius, I think, maybe. But so you will feel rewarded. And actually, it's okay that I'm talking a lot about this, because Saturn's like bending the nodes and we're gonna have some crunchy energy this week. So honestly, live it up the first couple days of the week. So just be honest with yourself. And Saturn's no cutting corners. No cutting corners. That's not gonna make you trust yourself. That's not gonna make you believe in yourself. It's like with what I'd say with Scorpio, how, you know, you can manipulate people, but you're never going to feel secure because you know that you're manipulating them. You know that you're never going to know if they're loving you because they want to be there with you, or if they love you because you manipulated them to love you. It's the same thing with Saturn. You will never know that you can trust yourself because you didn't do it. You didn't do it. You faked it, or you lied, or you cut corners, or you just abandoned yourself. You went cold on yourself, or you became a victim consciousness instead of owning your power and taking responsibility. You'll never trust yourself, and then you'll never trust the world. You'll never trust your life. You'll never trust in your destiny, and you'll just blame. You'll just project blame. Oh, it's that person's fault, or it's the government's fault, or it's this generation's fault, or oh, it's Gen Z. Whatever, you're gonna find those people. You're gonna find something to shift the blame to why you can't take responsibility for your life. It's kind of a heavy Wednesday. Let's move on. Thursday, August the 4th. I'm calling this day the devil's in the details. The details. Okay, so big stuff happening. The moon moves into Scorpio and makes a sextile to Mercury. Now, Mercury will move into Virgo on this day too. So Mercury is going to move into Virgo. The moon is going to move into Scorpio, and they're going to make a sextile. They're going to boogie together, okay? And it's going to be nice. So that's why I'm calling this day the devil's in the details, because Mercury moves into Virgo. Here's the thing, guys. I covered this in my August monthly. So honestly, my monthly forecast can be kind of long, like especially if there's something like this happening, because I'll give you the whole, like not just the month, but the whole thing. So basically what's happening is we're going to be entering another Mercury retrograde season, not in August. We're just going to enter the shadow in August. But guys, I got you right here, right now, if you're watching this anywhere around the first week of August. Start on the right foot. If you're meeting someone new, if you're starting a new job, if you're moving to a new town, start on the right foot. Mercury in Virgo is going to enter the shadow for their retrograde period on the 20th, on Saturday, in just a couple weeks. They are going to retrograde in Libra. Boom, re-enter Virgo, station direct. Boom, re-enter Libra, cover the same ground, and then move on. It just means it's more gnarly, and it means that it's going to be, we can work this, we can modify it. We can't totally ignore something that's happening, but we can modify it to the very best that we can get out of it. And this is what I help you guys to do. I'm saying start on the right foot, because if you start something and you start it on the wrong foot, that's going to bite you soon. Quickly. It'll quickly blow up in your face. So start on the right foot. Like I said, if you're hiring, for instance, do the background check, do your due diligence. If they're saying they went to Harvard, you get those transcripts. You call, I don't care how, okay, you're going to want to Frank Abagnale everything. No, you do your due diligence. You call, you make sure you get those transcripts. I don't care how charming they are. I don't care what they look like. You make sure you've got something to look at, to read, to hold in your hand. Just do the right thing. Do your due diligence. If you've been dating someone and you're going to have like a first sexual, go to the place and do the tests, get all of the panel done, get the fresh results. That is trust, okay? Due diligence, onboarding new hires, starting a sexual relationship with anyone, doing those things make everyone feel comfortable, everyone feels safe, and everyone's equal, everyone's the same, everyone's getting tested, that's the art of Libra energy, is where that's the secret to their negotiation, is if everyone can make the same sacrifice, if everyone feels like they're sacrificing the same, you can make anything happen. You can make any deal. You can make any deal happen because everyone feels like they can bear it, like they can bear the sacrifice, that they can bear the change, that they can bear whatever the conditions are. If everyone else is doing something comparable, this is going to be something coming up later in September, and maybe it may be happening like late August, but you may not like really know it's happening late August. So I'm just giving you guys like the super duper heads up. Mercury moves into Virgo. Start on the right foot. Do your due diligence. Be honest. Truth, love, integrity. Hold your own in all of these different situations. Be patient with other people, and just the devil's in the details. I love saying that. So make sure that you get your details down. Make sure that you do everything that you're trying to do to the standards that you're holding yourself on. And that Mercury in Virgo is going to help you be very meticulous. It's going to help you get to those details. It's going to help you figure, but just be patient with yourself. Take it a piece at a time. You have that great sextile from that moon in Scorpio sextiling that Mercury in Virgo. So whatever's happening later in the week changes, okay? More changes because you're building out the road. You're making these big executive decisions. You're saying this goes there, that goes there, this person's in, that person's out. I like this person, I don't like that person. I want to do this, I don't want to do that. You know, you're doing, and people are having these reactions to you too. People are, everything is happening up in the air. So this sextile is saying that it's part of the big changes. Getting very granular and taking care of these details is part of the big change, and you just want to accommodate those, that's all. So it's a positive indication that you have this sextile, that something is helping you move forward, helping you figure something out, helping you make the changes, and just, it's a little bit softer. It's a little bit hostile because the moon's in Scorpio. We're going to talk about that for Friday, but it's still supportive. So this is like if you have to get perfect example with the sexual partners. So especially because the moon in Scorpio and Mercury in Virgo kind of have something to do with this, where that would be the perfect day to have a conversation if you're dating someone like you're about to have sex with, or you've started a sexual relationship, about getting the tests done, testing for STDs, or about to be intimate with someone, or anything where you have to get to the truth and the granular nucleus of the matter and really figure out where someone stands, or talk about where you and another person stand. Or if you're doing this very psychologically and you're really minding your own mind for your own truth of how you feel or what you want, or trying to solve some murder mystery. I mean, anything at all. You can use that Thursday night energy to apply to figure something out, or to really, I really like that day mentally, actually. Now that I'm like really talking about it. So the devil's in the details. Get to the details. You have the help, that probing sexual, like deep under the earth. So, you know, emotionally it's not going to be as comfortable, but that's because you got to figure something out. You've got to figure out the murder mystery. You've got to know where everything stands and know what to expect, and then you will feel better. Friday, August the 5th. We have a lot going on. Clearly over here, we've got the quarter moon in Scorpio, the waxing, gaining in light quarter moon in Scorpio. And then the moon in Scorpio is doing so much. Moon in Scorpio is trining Venus in Cancer, conjuncting the south node, which means that that moon in Scorpio, quarter moon, is going to be opposing the triple conjunction in Taurus. And then that moon in Scorpio is squaring Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. I'm calling this day, do it. Number one, because that quarter moon, it's a waxing, gaining in light quarter moon in Scorpio. So there's this crisis in action. We've got to do something. We've got to actually take action and there was this seed planted right at the new moon in Leo, and at the quarter moon, you have to, it was loud. You have to say yes, or you have to say no. You have to make some big, crucial, critical decision on this new way that you're building out for yourself. So I'm saying go for it, do it. Now here's what's interesting. That moon in Scorpio is going to trine Venus in Cancer. Something about this, again, it does feel right. I'm wondering if people are just scared of change, because there really is a lot of helpful energy. And yes, there's a very stressful energy, but it really comes down to what you want for yourself and what you want for your life, your own personal spiritual beliefs. Remember, spirituality, how you feel based off of what you believe. I mean, do you want truth? Do you want love? Do you want integrity in your life? Do you want to live in this? You know, it's those kinds of things that are going to put aspects and astrology into such a bigger perspective and such a more grounded perspective. So like I said, so something does feel right. It does. So even if someone on their conscious awareness, even if they're resistant to the change, some part of them knows that this is going to feel good for them later on, but they're not seeing it. So they waste certain energies or aspects. So something about this does feel right on some level. The crisis in action, here's the thing. We only go for what we really believe in for our lives. We really only vote for the destiny that we personally believe in for our own personal lives. So this crisis in action is going to stimulate a lot of fears, because you may not want to relinquish something you already have, or some semblance of security that you already have, to do something new and different, to be innovative, to raise the stakes, to raise the bar. I could have ignored the whole movie thing and just ignored it, I don't know, and just not thought about it, shut it down. But then I would have never grown. I would have never had this awesome new perspective and insight onto this movie. And like, so I think that's another important part of this. Like, when you're used to that, when you're used to crunchy thoughts and crunchy thinking, and you're used to getting over that and the breakthrough, you can last longer in discomfort, is what I've realized. So for those of you that are bilingual, so you speak another language, it's like that. But apply that to life. So learning German, I would hit my head against the wall, and then eventually one day it would just disappear. I would just get it. It just made sense. So be patient with yourself, because these are big, big, big changes. Okay, Monday the 1st, that's resetting you for 15 years and more, because it's that rare of an energy, it's that rare of an aspect. So people are in all different kinds of layers and levels of conscious and unconscious dealing with all of this. You know, we're not ready yet to hold as much light when maybe big things are ready to fall away. And we don't have, like I said before, we don't have the wits about us to understand that it's a wonderful thing happening. So that crisis in action, you're gonna have the opportunity. It's gonna be there, but will you recognize it? Will you see it for what it is? Will you be able to get out of your own way? That's the thing. So just remember that you will vote for the destiny that you truly believe in. So even if it's what you want, even if it's what you really, really want, if it's a dream come true, if you don't really believe in it, you'll self-sabotage. You'll remember, fate brings you the opportunity. Whether you take that opportunity or not is you creating your destiny. That was last week, the Jumbotron destiny with that new moon in Leo. So that's going to build until August the 11th. So this week, you're building out a new way for yourself. That Scorpio moon is also going to conjunct the South Node. This is a really hard pivot, you guys. Like, be patient with everybody out there, because goodness gracious. So that South Node is the flush. Saying yes to something that's going to make your life even better and greater through some challenge of opening your mind, of considering something new and different, and following this thing that feels good, but you don't know where it's going, it's going to mean purging and saying no to another path that you would have held on to, but wouldn't have gotten you anywhere new or different. It wouldn't have challenged you, and it wouldn't have given you the rewards that you really do want, given you the benefits that you really do want. So this is the difference between really going for it and risking failure, risking ridicule, risking, all of these things, versus going for it and chasing that horizon because it's insatiable. It's the attitude that you're going at it with. It's the attitude that you're starting off on the right foot with. It's the attitude that's going to bring you across the finish line. When you start at the bottom of Mount Everest and you look up and you're like, I can't do this, but I'm going to go anyway, versus I might be able to do this, let's see how it goes, versus I can't do this and I'm not going to start and I'm not going to take the first step. You've already decided the end. You've already decided how it's going to go. And you're just working against all these different forms of your own internal resistance to get to the top of that mountain. But do you really believe you're going to make it? Or is every little pebble in your shoe going to be your excuse to fail? Instead of you and your attitude turning every little pebble and obstacle in your way as your reason to win. What's it going to be? It's going to be a very personal decision for every single person, every single one of us. So it's a flush. You have to let go of the fear. You have to let go of wanting to hold on to your spot because you're afraid of what? See, that's not trusting in life. That's not trusting in your destiny. That's not trusting in your own ability to create for yourself, to take care of yourself, to advance for yourself. And it's important that you do. Like with this Saturn bending the nodes and all this stuff happening, and then we're going to be going into the fall. And it's trusting in yourself is kind of the most important thing. And with this emphasis now on the South Node, with the moon being in Scorpio, with the quarter moon no less being in Scorpio, and connecting with that South Node, it's very clear that your compulsive impulses are going to come up. Your shadows are going to come up. So expect it to come up. Watch the vlog, How to Heal and Move On. It'll give you the step-by-step of what to do in a granular instructive way. So it's going to come up and you have to let them out. Don't act on that energy. Don't act on fear energy. That does not work out for anybody, fear-based action. So it's going to, some feelings, whether this is jealousy, fears, resentments, or bitterness, what else could, anything real negative and real dark, whatever comes up, purge. Don't think it's coming up because it's the truth. Don't think not everything you think is true. Not every thought you're thinking is the truth. You couldn't possibly know if any of those thoughts are all true anyway. So don't take it like that. Don't take all of these thoughts and feelings like it's the truth. It's coming up and it's going to leave. It's coming up so that you can purge it and go. The point is to release it. So it's got to come up so that you can release it. You're saying, I want you to say yes to that new way opening up, this new path for yourself, this new road, the exciting one, the one that feels really good, but you're a little bit like, ooh, this is really exhilarating. Oh my gosh. Okay. And it's going to mean purging out a more toxic form of emotional security. Maybe that's, oh, I have a lot of money, so I'm set. Oh, I'm married with kids, so I'm set. Or, oh, I'm, whatever it happens to be, start over, clear the decks. It's going to come up to take you off of your new way. So recognize it, let it go. And if it's like something like the ego is always looking for something to attach itself to. That's why I tell you guys to be very wary and very careful of like these spiritual gurus and things like that. Like anyone with a spiritual ego, the ego is always going to look for something to attach itself to. So even even psychics, tarot readers, astrologers, okay, that ego is going to attach to maybe, you know, a real heady astrologer, not spiritual at all, but real heady. That ego is going to attach to an intellectual ego with that heady astrologer. You know what I'm saying? So just, you know, because this could be that too, that South Node, quarter moon in Scorpio. So whatever happens to be, I want you to do it and say yes to the new way, but recognize the old way and maybe make peace with it, memorialize it, lower it 6 feet down, you know, say a little prayer and do your bid it adieu. You know, if you want to make it fancy schmancy, you can do that. Now that Scorpio moon is also going to square Saturn. It's time to grow. It's time to trust yourself. It's time, you're ready to grow, you're ready to evolve, and trusting yourself to be responsible with your feelings, with your actions, with your perceptions, and with yourself. Like really being honest and really being responsible with yourself is really, really important, and it's really crucial in the process. So the moon squaring Saturn on Friday is going to add to this feeling of, this isn't me anymore. You might feel like I'm too old for this, or you might feel I'm outgrowing this. This isn't right for me. Being this way is not right it doesn't feel right for me anymore. Responding to this text is not me anymore. Doing this thing, whatever it happens to be, you're gonna know that it's the toxic, but I feel like it's gonna be so clear. I feel like it's gonna be so clear what we're trying to hold on to versus what we're trying to move into. I feel like it's going to be clear. I'm only seeing it from my perspective though. So you guys let us know how it's going, because even if it is clear, you're still going to fight the feelings that come up. You're still going to reconcile with whatever's there, because Scorpio is going to bring things up from the very depths of the subconscious. You're going to get a little bit of that Wednesday, Thursday, and a lot of it Friday. So turn that, you know, that use your spidey senses to analyze the self, okay? Saturday, August the 6th, we have the moon entering Sagittarius. I'm so chatty today. The moon in Sagittarius will square Mercury in Virgo. So I'm calling this day New Perspectives because of that moon in Sagittarius. So when the moon hits Sag, zoom out all of the way. Frame it all up in your mind. Zoom out. Zoom out, just all the way out, and think. Just think about it. Take yourself out of the first person narrative, zoom all the way out of your life, and just think about it. You just went through some stuff this past week, so let yourself process all that you went through and everything that you're thinking about. Just think. That square to that moon in Sag squaring Mercury in Virgo, that's kind of striking me as very excited, but just talk about it, talk it out. You know, there might be some mental gymnastics happening, but like I said, you just have to like that. You have to like solving riddles and solving mysteries and solving problems, and you have to, and maybe in a different context. You know, I like movies and I like thinking about movies, you know, so it helps me to apply that in my life. So for you guys, look for what you already like mentally that's challenging, that you overcome it. Just find things that you already do that. You know, maybe you're a gardener and you love to take care of your plants, and when something's going wrong with one of your plants, you just love to figure it out. You don't use the app or anything. You just love to, I don't even know how to begin because my poor little plant is. So, you know, but find something in your life that you're already like that, and then see, oh, I'm already like that. I already like to do that. I like to solve problems. I like to challenge my mind. I like to grow. And then just apply that to whatever is coming up, because you either need to talk this out with someone, so you need like a mirror that you can talk to that's going to answer back, you know, a friend, maybe a therapist, or maybe not. Maybe it's a family member, maybe it's, I don't know, whomever, but just someone that you can trust to have a very fruitful, you know, back and forth with. This can also, I'm writing here, be excited, because this can also be very big, high concept perspectives where it's like a fire hose of information and it's so much coming in. And because we have Mercury in Virgo now, like this could have a lot, this could be like you committed to the new, okay. So honestly, I'm just gonna like share this with you guys. This is one of my personal things that I do, is I throw a lot at the wall and maybe something sticks. But I go for it. I always say yes. I always go for the thing. I always just jump in. I always try it. It's just, for me, I have my Venus in Sag, and I'm such a Venus in Sag person. Like the first couple times I went to Germany, like I booked my flight, and then I booked like the first 2 nights at a hostel, and then I didn't have anywhere to stay the rest of the trip. I figured that out when I got there. But that's just like the adventure. And the mentality, changing my mind, for me is part of the adventure, because you're going to learn new stuff. You're going to explore. And that's part of what I enjoy about it. So that square to Mercury, that could be, you just jump into it. You just jump in, you say yes. Let's do it. I will figure it out. Whatever you need, I will figure it out, because I love figuring shit out. I fucking love it. You know, like whatever happens to be, like whatever this new road is for you. Maybe you're just getting to know a new person and you're like, you're not my type, but I'm going to figure out why this is now my type. You know, whatever happens to be. And then you're just getting like a lot of information. You're just talking a lot. So, I mean, have fun with it. Don't be belligerent. Because a square of, you know, a Moon Mercury square could be like arguing. If you're arguing, you're in the wrong. That's not the vibe. Arguing about the past is not the vibe. Okay, if anyone's arguing about the past, that is the reddest flag that's ever red flagged ever. Leave, run away fast. If anyone is arguing with you about the fucking past, let them go. Run. Okay, this ain't about that. This is about the future. This is about where you're going. This is about how you want it to be. This is about living life unlived, something you've never experienced before. So how could you possibly argue about it unless you're worried about it, unless you're projecting problems into the future? You couldn't possibly have anything to argue about because nothing's happened yet, because it's so new. So if anyone's arguing, they're either arguing about the past, no, or they're arguing about a future that hasn't been lived yet. And that's going to tell you so much about these people or them as a person, because their fears and their insecurities and issues, latent issues, maybe even interpersonal issues that are there under the surface are now starting to come up. Because now everyone's showing their hands, showing their cards about how they feel about a future that no one's lived yet. And their attitude and their perspective is all you need to know. I'm telling you, take the snapshot with the moon in Libra, what relationships and connections are already great and awesome and amazing, and what people in the periphery, counting up your experiences with them or any impressions that you get from them, have they been positive? Have they gotten like good credit with you? Or do you have a memory that's like, oh, that was kind of like a misstep, or that was... it didn't gel or something, you know what I'm saying? All of that is super important, because you're building your new way, your new path, your new road, and it's special for you. This is a special moment in time for everyone. And I just I want you to be present for it. That's what I want. I just want you to be really present for it. I don't want you to be thinking about the past and feeling bad. I don't want you to be thinking about the future and feeling bad either. So just be excited. Be excited. Sunday, August the 7th, we have Venus in Cancer, trining Neptune in Pisces, and we have Mars in Taurus, squaring Saturn, retrograding in Aquarius. So the week starts with a bang. The week ends with a clang. I'm kidding. So, okay, so I'm calling this day the safe opens, okay? I know it doesn't look like that because of the Mars squaring to Saturn, but hear me out. Venus in Cancer, trining Neptune in Pisces, that is transcendence. Whatever's been feeling good is going to continue to feel amazing. It's going to feel freaking delicious. It's going to feel transcendental. It's going to feel out of this world. You might lift off here. You might have like, an astral experience. Like you might actually, there's something feeling amazing, okay? And you could really bring in more of that as you build out the week, making these decisions for yourself. And by the time you get to Sunday, you're very satisfied with yourself. You're very happy with yourself. Okay, so now let's talk about the gnarly part. Mars in Taurus squares Saturn, retrograding in Aquarius. I'm calling this cracking your code. You crack the code, you do better, you're getting smarter, and this is why. It's really funny. So I did my big calendar for the whole year, like in November of last year, and I wrote this down in little parentheses for Mars square Saturn. The last time Mars squared Saturn, Mars was in Scorpio, squaring Saturn in Aquarius, November the 10th or the 11th. It was November 10th or the 11th November 10th or 11th, 2021. And that was when I cracked a code. So I saw this pattern for Bitcoin, for trading Bitcoin. And and here's another perfect example of when you like to figure stuff out, when you like to chew on something mentally until it pops open. Honestly, I don't know what endorphins get released, or I don't know what happens in brain chemistry when that happens, but I know it feels amazing because I'm addicted to it. I think part of that's being a writer, but at that time, November, that is when I saw a pattern in Bitcoin, and I started trading on it, and like I talked about it in my crypto sesh over on Patreon. But that was the day that I cracked it, on a Mars square Saturn. So maybe it's because I'm a Saturnian person. I really don't know. So whatever is frustrating in your life, and I was frustrated. Like at this, I knew that there was something I wasn't seeing. And because I was getting the downloads, I was like, I know I'm supposed to be looking at this, but what am I supposed to see? I didn't know it yet. And then I finally had the breakthrough. So whatever is crunchy for you this entire week, whatever is difficult, look at the Taurus area of life, maybe more of the Aquarian area of life. You're trying to change it. You are on a conscious or an unconscious level. Sunday could be a big breakthrough where you finally feel at rest because you overcame the thing. You got over the hurdle. You got over the last point. And that could be why you're feeling transcendental with the Venus Neptune. Because that Mars in Taurus has all of the support, has all of the juice from the first, over the last week or so, building up to August the 1st. And Saturn bending the nodes, squaring the nodes, that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, although people will absolutely be feeling like it is, because it's going to be very karmic, and it's going to be, we reap what we sow. Okay? So don't let that deter you either. Take Sunday as you have a mental challenge, or some kind of, maybe it's a logistical challenge, maybe it's a contractual challenge, maybe it's an interpersonal challenge, but whatever it happens to be, there's a solution there, and you're right on the brink of figuring that out. And once you do, you're going to feel so much better about it, and you're going to feel so proud of yourself, and you're going to feel even stronger. You're going to feel even more powerful, and you're going to be even more satisfied with yourself for having done it, for having overcome this. And you know, this could even be perceptual. This could even be an attitude adjustment. We know how hard it is to adjust our attitude, so that's like probably the hardest thing of all. You can change logistics, you can work out little things like that, but like changing your attitude, having to look at something different that you don't want to look at any differently, that takes some willpower. Okay, that really does. So I'm excited because November 10th or 11th of 2021, I was really excited when I cracked this Bitcoin thing, and it just feels so, I'm telling you guys, like, or when I was learning German, overcoming something, it just feels so good. The payoff when you learn something, when it makes sense, it's worth it to stick with it. So anything in your life that doesn't make sense, stick with it. The payoff, you're gonna feel so good. And the thing is that the answer is always there. It's always right there. We are catching up to it's always how it is. We're always catching. That movie I have seen so many times, did not ever think it could be better, but the answer was there right in front of me. But it wasn't until I opened my mind and I made this other space that I held for some new energy flowing in my life, that new energy came into my life and was like, hey, you know, and oh my God, I was lit for days. I was thinking about this movie for days, you guys, and it was just so fun because I just had this whole other, you know, wheels turning in my mind, and it's like exhilarating. So you guys know I geek out about movies, but whatever it is for you, whether it's your gardening or your children, you love your kids a lot, or whether it's your, you know, your job, your career, whatever it is, whatever your thing is, just stick with it. Stick with it. It'll happen. The breakthrough will happen. For some of you, it'll be, I don't know, this whole week's got like these little landmines of breakthroughs and realizations and forward momentum. So it's honestly, it's going to be your own personal birth chart that's going to determine when things are going to pop off for you. So, but Sunday does look like a big breakthrough. It looks like a very meaningful one too. It leads you into Monday the 8th, where we have the sun trining Chiron. So there's some insecurity that's being healed, or there's some kind of some wound that gets a balm on it. So you're heading into feeling really, really good. And then by next week, we're building towards the full moon. I'm kidding. It's going to be a great full moon. I'm really excited for it. It's a full moon in Aquarius with Saturn. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. So, all right, let's take a look at your tarot. All right. I was super chatty this week, talking about this week. What do we have as far as the message? So, yeah, like I said, there's something about this path or this way, like an actual road. And then either that metallic, wherever I may roam. See, when I get too excited, I can't hardly talk. Wherever I may roam, and then something with the Queen or the Queen's Road or something. Okay, so we've got some cards. We've got the Knight of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, and we've got the Strength energy. To start, this is not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. Spoiler alert for anyone that has not seen Inception. You guys know I'm a super geek for that movie. She's giving me the end. So do not watch this if you have not seen Inception yet. Okay, so at the end, Dom Cobb is having his closure experience with Mal, and he's telling her, I'm talking about, this is the Five of Cups, this regret, this feeling bad, shame, fear, guilt, and strength, trying to just like hold on. He's talking about this nagging guilt that he feels towards her because of what he did, and how it just eats away at him. He's like, I just feel so bad. I feel so guilty. I am just overwhelmed with how bad I feel and how guilty I feel for all of this. And that is what binds her to him and him to her. That is the obstacle. That is the block that is the blockage, is his guilt. Feeling so bad for so long, and it just never goes away, and it never goes away. No matter what he does, it never goes away. Until now. And it doesn't just go away. It doesn't just diffuse into the air. You are bolting out. You are bolting out of feeling guilty or bad or shameful or regretful or sad or lonely or insecure, whatever it is, you are bolting out of there. What else? Ooh. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Pentacles, and you have another one. Wow, okay. Three of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. This could have been an old pain, like an old, dull pain that has always been there or has been there for a very long time, that the energy hasn't been able to move. You haven't been able to get over it. Dom Cobb shooting himself up with the dream syrup, whatever it is, to go back to Mal and to have that all, you know, because he feels so guilty. Probably did that for years. I don't know how long it was when Mal died in the movie, but it just sticks. This was a pain, this was a disappointment, this was a fear, this is something that just sticks. We're stopping right here. We're stopping right here with the Fool. See, you're done. You're done. Done feeling crummy. Knight of Swords, the Tower, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, this really is like wrecking ball energy. You are bursting out of whatever your block is, whatever your block was, subconscious, conscious, what have you. You know, you're feeling the passion in your loins. You're feeling the stimulation. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. This could be breakthroughs in intimacy, sexuality, career, whatever was your biggest stuck spot. That's gone and blown. Wow. Okay. Congratulations. And this Fool energy, it's like the first step on a whole new path. Whole new path, whole new way. I'm getting way. I mean, I'm really getting, sure, maybe road or path, but I'm getting like the way, like a whole new. So for some of you, this could be like a whole new way of life that you're building out this week. Maybe lifestyle changes for some of you. What's this Knight of Wands, thank you. It's the Hermit. Aw. Okay, so some of you this is happening in alone time, like when you are with yourself. For some of you, this is happening in like a therapy session. For some of you, this is when you are in some kind of like a mentor-mentee kind of relationship. Maybe you're learning yoga, maybe you're learning how to be a yoga teacher from a yoga teacher or something. You know, it could be something like that, and you have a nice conversation. But whether it's triggered by another person or not, you're doing the work. You're always doing the work inside. You're having the internal breakthrough where that energy moves, where you let yourself off the hook. You don't have to feel guilty. Okay. I think I said this in a recent video. A mistake is not a mistake if you learn from it. It therefore becomes a lesson. Each lesson is like a feather in your cap. And when you have lots of feathers, you become a chief. Once you've learned the lesson, you let the whole thing go. You forgive yourself, everyone else. You forgive the situation. You forgive the time. You forgive the people. You forgive everything, and you let it go. You really release it and you let it go. This energy has a breakthrough. It moves something inside of you, and you learn from it. You learn from, maybe you see, this is why Dom needed Ariadne, he needed the whole experience, he needed the whole movie to happen so that he could finally let Mal go. But he learned the lesson. He was far beyond, he learned the lesson when she died. That's when he really learned it. That's when he learned, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have manipulated my wife, you know. But he went on and on and on and on with the pain. And you don't have to do that to yourself. You don't have to. Once you learn the lesson, then you can let it go. So this, I think this is going to be my new favorite sleep shirt. Okay, so with the Hermit, that's kind of what I'm getting for you, is that you have this very personal moment with yourself where you understand, it makes sense to you, you learn, okay? The lesson, not a mistake, it's a lesson because you learn from it. You learn from it because something's making sense. Now you let it go and you become a wise person. You become your own wizened self. And you take pride in that, and you make that part of you, that piece of wisdom. That's what I mean, alchemizing pain into providence. That's a part of you now. Now you're a little bit wizened, a little bit wiser, and you can move forward, okay? Let's take a look at the Knight of Pentacles and the 3 cards, the 3 of Wands, the 7 of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles, to clarify. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So people, maybe even friends, or friends of friends, or just people in general, again with the overpromised, I'm getting the overpromising energy with the 3 of Wands. Tricked you, lied to you, overpromised, underdelivered, underwhelmed, and made it look like you were the 3 musketeers and you're not, and you weren't. Maybe they were selfish, maybe they were greedy, maybe they were inconsiderate, maybe they're just liars. I don't know, but I'm sorry that you had to deal with these people. You don't deserve that. You deserve so much better. And what's happening with you this week is clearing all of that debris away, where you're going to be trusting yourself to pick better people, and you're going to be trusting yourself to protect yourself when someone turns on you, when you start to see certain behaviors, when you start to see the red flags, when you start to see that something's really not good for you anymore, that you'll trust yourself to change your life, to not have to be around it. So if no one's told you that, I'm telling you right now. You never deserved that. You never deserved any bad thing that ever happened to you. Let's take a look at your fresh start, at your new beginning. What's this Fool energy? The 2 of Swords, really? You don't know what to do? Ooh, and we have the Lovers bottom of this deck over here. This is a big breakthrough. This is a really, really big breakthrough. Going from the 2 of Swords to the Fool, and then that Knight of Wands, everything about this energy is saying that the past has been over for quite some time. I'm getting the Dom Cobb thing again. All this energy is saying that the past has been over for so long already. Just like Dom living abroad and doing these little jobs, he's just been like half alive. He's just been sort of like a zombie. He's just been sort of going through the motions. He learned the lesson when Mal died. That's when he could have, like, that was a big one. That was a really big one. But since then, that obstacle, that block, that subconscious block had been keeping him from moving forward. Like, he's really been stuck. And that energy for years, or I mean, I don't know how long it was. Maybe it wasn't, because those kids were really tiny, but maybe in his memory and his subconscious they're not so tiny, but they sounded really tiny on the phone when he talks to them. So anyway, it's been over for quite some time. And this is, you're going to feel it like a huge breakthrough, but that's only because you're emotionally and spiritually moving forward. I feel like things have been over or done already for quite some time, and this is just you energetically catching up to it. Let's take a look at the Tower. It's part of your overall, but I just want to see what's this Tower energy. It's the Lovers. It did want to come out. It was like the bottom of the deck, or yeah, it was the bottom of the deck. So the bottom of the deck, the Lovers, and then you have Judgment. This is it. You are making a big decision, or a big decision is being made for you. This would be like Ariadne sitting him down and saying, listen, you don't have to tell me. You don't have to take me down there. You gotta. Someone's got to know. Arthur has to know. Someone else has to know what you're going through. Okay? You're being a little dangerous, Cobb. Tell somebody. That kind of makes him a little bit more accountable. Not like a whole lot more, but like a little bit more accountable. At least she goes with him. And then she ended up being a huge force for good and for progress and for, see, and they gave up. They gave up. They gave up. They were going to go back and they were going to go be arrested. Ariadne saved the day at the very end. Okay? Remember, the attitude, start on the right foot. The attitude that you start something with is like kind of a lot already made up your mind about how it's going to end, how it's all going to go down. She went in there like, okay, we're going to do it. It's just like me. Like when I throw a lot out at the wall and like maybe something sticks, I fully embrace all of those potentialities. I fully embrace all of those timelines. And it's like, well, whatever. For me, it's like, come was wolle. It's German. It means come what wants to come. So, you know, come was wolle. And so whatever does want to come, I'm like, okay, we're doing it. Let's do it. And I'm just like, all right, that's the thing now. Now it's been a little bit unstable for my life to live this way, but I wouldn't change it for the world because my life is in alignment with truth, love, and integrity. And I feel very satisfied in who I am because of it. So this is kind of like a moment for you where maybe it's another person that shows you where you are in life and why, and how you feel about your life and why, and just make it very clear to you that you're ready to move beyond this blockage, because she's the one that comes up giving Fisher his own jump to ride it all, and they ride it all down together, giving Cobb lots of time to find Saito. They all ride the wave back up together. And then Fisher gets the idea. My father would have wanted me to separate his empire and make something for myself. But they gave up. She was the one that kept them going. So that was lucky that he took her down there. To have a good, that's having a good mirror. Snapshot at the beginning of the week. The people around you that are good mirrors, that are going to be able to think not like you, but positive, so that they can think of something that you don't think of. They were getting ready to pack up, right? They were ready to pack up. They were like, okay, let's pack up. We're going now. They gave up kind of easy. I'm glad Ariadne was there. And I'm glad they listened to her. All right, this cannot turn into me talking about movies. So, let's get your your guidance You could movies, cards, and the stars. There's a couple episodes on the YouTube still, so you can. I did it one. I already talked about Inception for a really long time, so. Oh, mother of pearl. So we're just gonna take the one that flipped up, which I can see, and then the bottom of the deck, the ostrich. The choice is clear for you now. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. The choice is clear for you now. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it. Sorry. And then the one that flipped upright is the grouse. Embrace the power of dance and movement to access your highest guidance. So for some of you, these epiphanal moments, breakthrough moments by yourself, maybe after a powerful interaction with another person, but for some of you, also going to be through dancing or through movement. And everyone is psychic. Someone like me or someone like Matt Frazier, I would say that we're just super psychic or we're very psychic. Everyone is psychic. So you know, just because maybe I do this and it helps me get downloads for you guys and it helps me with my little connection here, doesn't mean that you dancing and moving around isn't you getting downloads and isn't you getting your own, you know, little informations and connections. So explore that. Explore whatever the things are that help you ground yourself and stabilize yourself. Get your inspiration, ground your inspiration, and help you get really, you know, maybe it's a walk in the morning or a walk after dinner, or, you know, so remember to stay out of the box in terms of your psychic ability, because just like, you know, someone's a psychic medium and they're very heavily discussing, we're very much in communication with the 𝚑𝚘𝚑, whereas I'm more of like a remote viewer. That's like the easiest thing for me to do. You know, maybe another psychic, it's something else that's really, really easy for them. You know, so it's like you've got your own thing, you've got your own life, and your life is opening up. There's a whole new way opening up for you. And this could be part of that. This could be part of a new way of how you're getting your downloads or how you're getting it together. So for some of you, at least one of you, embrace the power of dance and movement to access your highest guidance. So for some of you, maybe you can't sit still. Maybe it's riding the bike and then you get into your flow state and you get your downloads. Experiment and let us know how it goes. I love you guys. Take very good care. I will check in on your energies next time, my dearies. Until then, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.